Welcome to the second edition of the Great Thinkers X-Ray Show, coming to you live at the UEG Brikama campus. Well, today I have two interesting people here. Before I hit the nail on the head, let me allow them to introduce themselves. So, starting with my left, can you please introduce yourself to us, sir?
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Isaac. I'm deeply honored to be present here today, invited by the Great Thinkers Media on a platform called X-Ray to delve into a very semantic area. That is the question being asked whether Commonwealth is worth celebrating. Before we get into that, I will introduce myself. First, my name is Lamin, uh, a recently graduate from the University of
Wonderful,
Education. Thank you so
wonderful.
much.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it's a
That's
pleasure.
great. That's great. Okay, well, with that being said, we shift the baton to my right hand. We have somebody that is well known. Let me just give him the floor to introduce himself.
Yes, thank you so very much, Mr. Isaac, for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you at this point in time. Well, my name's Bakanku, a newly graduate from the Gambia College School of Education, respectively, where I studied advanced diploma secondary, major social and environmental studies, and physical health education, respectively. So basically, this is who Bakanku is. Thank you.
Exactly. Well, with that being said, we have intelligent people here. And the topic we are going to talk about today is Commonwealth worth celebrating. I mean that is a big topic, isn't it? It's a broad topic. But we are here as intellect to dive into it. We are going to place the topic on the table, and what we are going to do is dissect it. There's going to be a lot of arguments, a lot of discombobulation, but let us try by all means to deal with it healthy. Thank you. So let's start with Mr. ML. Is Commonwealth worth celebrating? We have been celebrating Commonwealth for years now, but is it worth celebrating? And if you mind, you would give us a brief definition of what you think Commonwealth is.
Uh, I think this is a very thematic area, and in an intellectual debate or intellectual platform, usually you cannot say this is wrong or this is right 100%. However, I will have to give a brief background to the topic, that is the Commonwealth. So the Commonwealth is actually the name that is being given to but certain countries around the African countries. So it came about when the after the British colonial rule, when they were living. So they believe that there should be a setup that African countries should be united to promote a common goal, and that is how the Commonwealth has been
Okay,
established.
so if I get you right, after the demarcation of Africa, Africa was once united.
Exactly.
So they thought it twice that maybe after they have divided Africa, they should find a way to reunite Africa again.
Absolutely,
That is by
absolutely,
creating the so-called Commonwealth.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. To get into the debate, the discussion proper. Well, I think I will have to first give. They said you give honor to whom honor is due to.
Exactly.
So first, I will have to say
Mm,
Commonwealth. One can argue that it should be celebrated.
mm.
Others they also argue that it should not be celebrated.
Oh well, that's
So
great.
in both ways, I will first have to give credit to the people who established the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Commonwealth it came and have different functions.
Oh.
So the functions, if you look at the functions, you can say Commonwealth it's worth celebrating.
Mm.
And first, I will have to delve into my points. And if you look at the first point, Commonwealth is to define the definition of after colonialism. So if you look at the Commonwealth after the colonialism, the colonialists when they came during the colonialization, when these white people they came here, they divide Africa. Africans have the mindset that they cannot be divided, they cannot be united. So they divided Africa. So Africans they believe that Africa should be united and promote and protect the life and the welfare of the people. And that is how the Commonwealth came into existence. So if you look at it, when they came, they said Commonwealth now. There was a name that was given to it. They call it British Commonwealth. That was name given to it. But now Africans they took it upon themselves and believe that Commonwealth should be celebrated. So now, if you look at the Commonwealth, actually it has three functions to play.
Sorry, before you proceed,
Mm,
you said you made mention of something. The Africans took it upon themselves, and
exactly.
they believe that Commonwealth is supposed
To be
to be
celebrated.
celebrated.
Exactly.
Okay, that is noted.
Exactly.
Okay,
It should be celebrated.
okay,
If you look at the three functions that it has,
yeah,
force has to deal with the definition of relationship, and also the promote share values, and also to encourage cooperation.
okay.
So if you look into these three areas,
Mm,
they are trying to shape the mindset of the Africans and to make Africans believe that they can be united. Now, if you look at the promotion of democracy,
mm,
now, Africa, if we don't have democracy, we are going to live in the state of, state of Sambul,
mm.
and also sometimes we call anarchy state, where
So
everyone
are
acts.
you saying that democracy is something that is introduced by the British in
No,
Africa?
democracy was not introduced by Africans. It was, they said the queen of democracy is America,
Okay,
where you said America is the country that, democracy is from.
but is America a democratic state?
America, America, yes. One, democracy.
Uh-huh.
Democracy is a very, very, it's a very broad term.
Yeah.
And if you contextualize it, perhaps you can say they are democratic. I'm not sure if there's any country in the world that is 100% democratic.
You know, I'll have to pinch you right over there
No,
and just
it's
allow you to rest for a while.
mhm.
Let me shift the baton to Mr. Bakanku here. Is Commonwealth worth celebrating?
Yes, thank you so very much, Mr. Samura. I think before we first dwell into the topic of discussion by saying if or whether the Commonwealth it was celebration, we first need to establish the fact, what is the Commonwealth and the reasons why it was set up.
Oh yes,
As
oh yes.
alluded by Mr. Emil, I think at some point in time, I need to 100% concur with what he is saying.
Okay.
First of all, whenever we discuss about Commonwealth nation, we're talking about independent countries
Mm-hmm.
coming together. You understand? We have 56 members of the Commonwealth. So this, for the reason for their coming together is for them to work together. You understand? For their shared goals.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what are these shared goals? There are so many things that are involved from this, and I think at some point in time, these are some of the reasons. Understand, other members join the Commonwealth.
Mm.
If the viewers can be witness with me, at some point in time back, we were withdrawn from the Commonwealth of Nations
Oh yes,
until
yes,
2018 when we have a new government. We were
yes. You
brought
were
back to the
reinstalled back inside. Yeah.
exactly. We rejoined the Commonwealth of Nations.
Yes.
Understand? Currently, we call it Commonwealth of Nations.
Uh-huh.
It's established where we have 56 members, states, as I stated earlier on, based on interest.
Based on interest.
Interest.
Yes.
So, to me, if any country that is in the Commonwealth of Nations, you understand, gaining the interest of joining there, I think it was to be celebrated.
Africa was once independent before. There come the British colonial masters. They came and introduced colonialism. They extended their political power, social, economic power, and imposed that upon us. So, with that, with all that, at the end of their colonial era, they decide to create an organization for us to be reunited again. Does that ring a bell? Does that brings anything in your mind? Does what is that trying to say here?
Yes, as you rightly mentioned, before the coming of Europeans to the to Africa at large, we were all independent. You understand? We have our geographical boundaries, we have our political systems
Mm-hmm.
at all costs, and then we were there managing our own affairs without any influence
Mm-hmm.
until time goes on, where the Europeans have